Let's count down. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Kevin Fitzpatrick. I'm a Senior Vice President with Opus IBS. With me today is our National Sales Manager, Mike Salazzi.
How you doing?
And Vince Walsh, our Product Specialist. Hey. We wanted to take some time today and answer some of your questions about our present products and our offering. Opus IBS, we're a bunch of companies. Some of the companies that make up Opus IBS are Automotive Diagnostics, Blue Link Technologies, Drew Technologies, Farsight. So we'd like to let's start off with a couple of questions. Mike.
How you doing today, everybody? I know there's been a lot of questions about the new ES unit that we came out with. So I just want to clear it up as far as how it's going to work for all of our existing customers and all of our DrivePro customers already. We do have an update coming out at the end of this month for all of our current Drive users. Okay, this will turn basically everyone's tool into a ES with the ES software. Now, we've been asked a lot of questions as far as any changes or revisions that were made with the tool, which we did make a few changes. To the end user, you guys really won't see the differences in the changes. Basically, there was a new USB hub installed internally and a new battery board that we're using. We still support all the old tools with any issues or anything like that. Now, like I said, the software update will be coming out for all DrivePro users. The only change that will have to happen is customers who have a Drive Euro only tool. Basically, our new platform, our new ES platform, is only written one way, and it is with all manufacturers. It is with domestic, Asian, and European. So with that being said, the Drive Euro tools that are out there will remain as the Autologic legacy software with the Drive Euro software. Now, there will be an upgrade fee if you guys do want to upgrade to the new ES, which basically the difference would be the $1,000 purchase price for the tool, and also the monthly maintenance will go up to the $299 a month from the $249 a month. So I hope that answers a lot of the questions out there about our new ES version that came out. So yes, everybody will be updated to that version except for the Drive Euro only customers, which will have to be upgraded into a newer unit.
Okay. All right. So the next question we have here is, what is the cost per programming session? Vince?
It really doesn't vary too much. Our wrap programming, which is all of your domestic and your Asian modules, things like that, which are done through REP and also done through our tech support offering, is $125 for the most part. If we need to look up just a single module for you to see if it needs any type of an update, it's just a $40 lookup fee, which is pretty reasonable. If we're dealing with some of our Mercedes programming offering and we have to do flow rate data and we have to do multiple things, it might be a little bit of a higher rate than that. But for the most part, it's safe to say that right around $125 is what you're going to pay to get your remote programming performed. And that's that.
Okay. Let's see. The next question is, let's see. When will the tool be able to program in code? And, no, I'm sorry. Next question is, we only work on BMWs. Can I get a BMW tool like Autologic used to do by itself? Is there a BMW only option?
So BMW, we actually do have a BMW only tool. That is the only manufacturer that we do sell one off of, and a lot of that being our capabilities with BMW. We have a large customer base, including BMW shops out there that use our software specifically for the fact of our capability with individualization with module programming and coding, even on the newer F chassis and G chassis cars. So being that BMW is by far our biggest line and our most sought after software, there actually is an option for a BMW only tool. It will have the Autologic legacy software on there for BMW. The way it'll work is you don't pay a monthly maintenance on that one. It'll be just like the renewals used to happen, $1,600 a year for the service that would cover the tech support and the software updates for that BMW software. The purchase price of a BMW only tool is $3,500.
Okay. Vince, what is the company presently doing about the Chrysler Secure Gateway issue?
Chrysler Security Gateway issue, we've actually been working with this Chrysler Security gave the issue before anybody was. Due to our unique offering with the OE manufacturers, especially with our Chrysler offering that we've been doing programming and stuff like that. If a unique Chrysler bidirectional function needs to be done, we can use our factory software to get that done. As far as the actual FCA offering goes, added onto every individual device we have out there, it will be added over time. But as far as the FCA offering goes, Chrysler and Fiat, whatever it may be, we have it. All you got to do is put in a tech support request and we make it happen for you.
Okay. You guys just released a DrivePro ES. Mike, what is the difference between the older DrivePro, the early DrivePro, and the ES model?
Well, like I said before, I mean, there's really not much of a difference. Obviously, it's our new UI. It's a new user interface that we designed and put on there, which for everyone out there that doesn't know, it's basically our new design on the software. It makes it a little bit slicker, it moves a little bit faster, less button pushes, it's a little bit more user-friendly for the end user. And like I said before, really the only changes internally as far as hardware goes would be the USB hub and the battery board. But like I stated before, this will not affect the end user as far as people who have DrivePros now as compared to the DrivePro ESs. It's kind of seamless to them. They actually don't see the difference for the changes that we made internally.
Okay. Okay, so what about trading in my older DrivePro for a new DrivePro? Has the company made any concessions at this point?
No, not right now, only because of the fact that it really doesn't, there's a small change to the hardware internally, but like I said, to the end user, it's seamless. You guys won't even be able to tell the difference because, like I said, these older tools will actually be loaded with the new suite of software unless you are a Drive European only customer. So, you know, you'll have to upgrade. But as far as everything else goes to the end users, you guys will not see the difference.
Okay. Vince, tell me about the latest Porsche update that just came out in version 18.1. What are some of the highlights?
Some of the highlights are, you know, some of the basic stuff that is some of the more difficult stuff to do. It's, even though it's basic, is on the late model Porsche cars that we need to do maintenance resets, reading all of the instrument cluster, looking into the data where people are so concerned at looking at the overread function, the things that used to be so easy to do that Porsche has made it just a little bit more difficult with their PWIS3 application. With our acquisition of Auto Ingenuity and working together with them, it's really night and day, like an overnight change when that software came out. I was really excited about it. And if anybody ever wants to, if you have a DrivePro and you're a European only and you want to see just how good it is, I can kind of show you how good it is on your device. I can work that out. And if you like it, I'm sure we can work something out and upgrade them to get that software. Yeah, extremely reasonably, right, Mike?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, and that's something that we'll have an offering for real soon.
Yep. And I just want to hit a couple of these other questions real quick, because we are working on some pre-asked questions, and then we have some live questions coming in as well. I did see somebody had asked if the blue box support goes parallel with the ES, which the answer to that question is yes. I kind of want to hit this real quick, just for our existing customers out there to understand. No matter how many tools you have from us, if they are in one location, you are paying one monthly maintenance fee. Because I see there is another question: is there a monthly subscription? So the answer is yes. And the way to work for our legacy customers, if you have blue boxes, if you have Assist Pluses, or if you have Farsights, when you purchase a Drive ES or a Drive Pro, that is all included in your monthly subscription. So as long as they're in one location, if you're running them out of separate locations, then we will obviously, the charge is per location. So for instance, if you have a shop and you have 2 blue boxes, an Assist, and now you purchase a Drive Pro or the Drive Pro ES, it is one monthly maintenance for that shop, which means it keeps all of those tools up to date with software and tech support and everything else, okay? So everything is active. Now, I do see there's another question as far as the monthly, is there a monthly subscription? Is it mandatory, and what does it cover? So the first year, when you sign on with a new DrivePro DrivePro ES unit, the first year is mandatory, okay? After the first year, you're basically signing a contract saying that you're gonna pay for the first year. After the first year is up, you can opt out of paying the monthly maintenance. Okay, but it'll still be a functioning scan tool, but you will be losing access to the unlimited tech support, and you'll be losing access to the Autologic legacy programming. And they're also asking, what does the monthly subscription cover? So the monthly subscription will cover unlimited tech support across all brands. It keeps the hardware completely up to date and under warranty. It will continue the warranty. Gives you access to the Autologic legacy programming, and like I said, gives you access to unlimited tech support. So it keeps everything up and running. Basically, there are no other additional fees other than the monthly maintenance. The only other thing you'll be charged for would be the $125 for remote programming. Okay, now the question has come up to me as well about health checks on Asian and domestic vehicles. So we do have something that's called a health check where subscribers want to know if a car needs to be updated. So with that, we can go in, we run a health check on the vehicle and tell them what modules need to be programmed. If nothing needs to be updated, or if you don't want to go through with any of the programmings, there is a $40 charge for that health check. If you do decide to go through with the programming, then obviously the $40 charge is waived, and you'll just be charged the $125 for the actual programming. So I hope that answers some of the questions before they start coming in. So
okay. So here's a question from somebody watching. We spent over $50,000 with Autologic Farsight since 2013. What advantages and disadvantages I have moving over to the new DrivePro? Well, the answer is this. We've changed our pricing strategy considerably since 2013. In truth, what we've done, and I've been with the company since 2005, so I've been through basically all of the iterations. I left with a group of guys. We started Farsight as kind of a splinter group from Autologic, and then we kind of brought them back with Drew Technologies. Drew Technologies actually purchased both of the companies a few months apart. So basically all of the best parts of Autologic and Farsight are in the DrivePro. The nice thing about the DrivePro platform is the fact that you can actually request technical support from the device, you know. And our technicians can actually remote back into the vehicle. We can see what the technician, your technician in the shop, is actually working on. We can pull packets of information out, and our technicians can actually see what your technicians are working on. It's an extremely nice feature, and it actually speeds up the delivery of technical support. If we go back for a second and talk about the support, it's an extremely important part of our offering. As a matter of fact, unlike any other, if I could call us a scan tool company for a second, and we kind of differentiate ourselves from that. We personally have 4 support centers in the U.S. We're in Ann Arbor, Michigan, New York, Huntington Beach, California. We have one just outside of Raleigh down in North Carolina. These centers are fully staffed with technicians. OE trained technicians. These are not guys that they'll have a year or two of experience. You know, not one of these situations where we ask these guys to have 1 or 2 ASE certifications. These guys are master technicians, meaning they come out of BMW dealerships after 8 or 10 years, GM dealerships after 8 or 10 years with full certification. So when one of your techs is calling our guys, these guys know their craft. So that's what you're dealing with. So basically what you get with the DrivePro is everything that Autologic was, everything that Farsight was, into one platform. The ES especially. There's another question that just came in that says the keyboard on the Autologic is finicky sometimes. I'm assuming they're talking about the DrivePro. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when submitting a request, it disappears, and the only way to get it back is to start over. Is that a software problem? Answer: yes. That was taken care of on the ES version of the tool. So as Mike already alluded to, anybody who has an earlier version of the DrivePro will be getting the ES software, which will take care of that glitch. In another month or two, they'll all have access to that very, very shortly. Next question that came in from Enrique. Are there any plans to support Ferrari, Maserati, and Bentley, especially since Maserati and Ferrari are ramping up production? I can speak to two of those lines right off the bat, and I'm not sure about the third being Bentley. Our sister company already has software for Ferrari and Maserati, and moving them over into our side of the business. I will say will be done eventually. We just haven't spec'd it out yet. Eventually, we will be moving those into into our arena. The reason we haven't done it yet is real simple. As I mentioned earlier, the technical support is an extremely important part of what we do. And until we have Ferrari and Maserati techs on staff, trained up and fully understanding what it is we do, we can't bring the software over. Next question was, can you advise me about what a model of scanner we can purchase for a small business? Oh, that's an easy one. Mike, what the scanner would you recommend this gentleman purchase?
ES.
Yeah.
The Drive ES. No, and yeah, Kevin started to hit on the tech support before, and I kind of want to go back to it for a second because I want everybody on here to understand that we do only hire master technicians from the dealership, okay? And a big thing I want everyone to understand is we're not just a support company for our tool, okay? The whole point of what we do here is to help shops, okay? You look at the industry and what the industry needs. The industry needs help, okay? They don't need another scan tool. I mean, everyone can create a scan tool, and it's just not what the industry needs. So we're here to help these shops, okay? We really do want to help them increase their cycle time in the shop and to get cars in and out of the bays quicker, obviously to make more money. I mean, this is where we're making our revenue from, is our shop time, is the time that we charge our customers for our diagnostic. So with that being said, I mean, the tech support is there to help you guys with anything. And it's not just our scan tool. I don't care if you're using factory software, if you're using another scan tool, if you need help with wiring diagrams, if you need help with anything, shop time, questions, a vehicle that's going to be coming in. This is what our techs are here for. It's not just around our tool. It's to help you guys seriously run your shop more efficiently. And better yet, a lot of our technicians here are trainers. You guys see them on webinars. You guys see them on other training platforms. So they really do have that mentality, even when they're on the phone with our customers and technicians. They're putting it off as a training. So, for a small shop, to go back to the question, what tool would be good for you? I think a Drive ES would be good for you for many reasons, because we can help you with everything that you already have that you're using, and we're adding a tremendous amount of value. A lot of stuff that we can remote and stream off the back end of the tool. We have a lot of options. You guys do hear us talking about different OE services we could do off the back end of the tool and OE programming. We have a lot of, I want to say, tools in our tool belt to basically help these shops. Might not necessarily be through our Auto Ingenuity software, or it might not necessarily be through our AutoLogic legacy software that's on the tool. We do have other means through the back end to help these shops. And again, if we have to, pull out a factory tool or another tool, we will help you guys with anything that you guys are using.
That's an important point you brought up. One of the things we have the ability to do with our tool is through our relationship, and again, we license this ability, we license this software. We are the most licensed service or platform out there. So we have the ability, if we're missing something on our tool, okay, and all aftermarket scan tools, I'm telling you right now, none of them are 100% complete, but what we have the ability to do is, being that we have a lot of the manufacturer software running in the background on our tool, if there's something we don't have, our technicians have the ability to then go into the factory software on our device. Our technicians have the ability to pull up that software, remote into that software when that tool is connected up to the vehicle, and utilize the factory platforms in order to get those vehicles that your technicians are working on fixed. Okay, and that is absolutely unique to our platform. So that's something really that nobody else can do. Something else I wanted to point out is the technicians that you're talking to. Anybody who's engaged with the CarQuest Training Institute or WorldPac Technical Institute, a number of our technicians train for those two institutions, and believe me, they are the absolute best in the business. So our technicians, our tech support guys train for those two organizations, and there's a very, very good chance if you've taken one of the classes from one of the technicians you're talking to is potentially one of the trainers that you've had in the class, and that level of connectivity to us is extremely important. So you know, when a technician calls up or he goes to a training class or he calls up and he's looking for help on an issue, we'll spend 20 minutes with you on the phone. We'll spend an hour and a half with you on the phone. We'll stay with you until the vehicle is fixed. And like I said, there's no issue that's too big or too small. And all of our technical support is absolutely unlimited. So that's another really important distinction that's pretty unique to our company. Training is an important part of what we do. You'll see that we're constantly putting out webinars. We have a whole library of stuff that's online now. We also look at the issues that are coming in from our customers, meaning we have about in an average week we have about 800 touches a day with our customer base, where our customers will call into our support center. When I say call and they reach in, they'll send a request for technical support. Our average response time is between 14 and 17 minutes back to the customer, meaning customer will request tech support through the tool. We'll respond back to that customer in 14 to 17 minutes and start working with them on the fix for the vehicle. That happens between 800 and 1,000 times a day on average. All of those requests for tech support, all of those interactions with customers are recorded, and we have all of that information. So our techs are constantly learning and constantly finding out what all of these different issues. So when your techs find something, if you've got a late model vehicle, you've got a 2019 vehicle, and you see something weird, there's a very, very good chance we've already seen it that day or 5 times that week. So, and that's how you fix cars quicker. The name of our vehicle is Opus IVS. The IVS stands for Intelligent Vehicle Support. And that's what we built our company around. The whole idea that vehicles have gotten so complex and so intelligent that the average general repair shop, of which I own one today, and I start my day every day in a repair shop that I've owned with my brother for over 20 years now. The average shop cannot keep up on all of the technology that's involved in repairing these cars today. So they need help. They need somebody to reach out to when they get one of these late model cars. The fastest way to fix that car is to be able to interact with somebody that fully understands those systems or has seen an issue before, doing the service work, what have you. If you get a trouble code, we call it the 20-minute rule. If you don't have a direction on that repair within 20 minutes, we want you to hit the button, request technical support. One of our experts is then interfaced with you, and they're going to get you back on track. In many cases, they'll have an answer for you. They're going to give you a couple of test steps, and together you're going to make that diagnosis. You're going to get the parts ordered. You're going to get the part replaced, coded, programmed, and get the car out the door. Because again, at the end of the day, the name of the game is repairing cars and making money. I mean, that's what we're in this for. So.
Yeah, and even with that, you know, like I said, it's all about making money, right? It's all about turning your bays. And you know, Kevin's a shop owner, Vince is a shop owner. My father owned his own shop for 40 years, so I understand the fact of, you know, where you guys are making your money, and you know, us helping you guys increase your cycle time is tremendous. You know, a lot of guys, I mean, I'm in and out of shops. I talk to a lot of shops. I'm out there doing demos, and you know, I listen. I try to learn every time I'm out there, and I try to ask my audience, you know, what is it that you guys are struggling on? What is it that you guys need help with? And a lot of times it is they can't find the help, they can't find the technicians. So that's where we come in. You know, and some shops I go into, they say they don't need tech support. You know, it's not just the tech support saying that you don't know how to fix a car. It's like I said, it's about speed of cycle time. So like Kevin started to say, the 20-minute rule. If you're into a vehicle and you don't have a direction, it's not about pride. It's not about the fact that you can figure it out. Everyone can figure it out. You know, it's not putting 5-6 hours into a vehicle that you're only going to charge your customer an hour or two of diag time on. You know, that's your bread and butter. That's what you're giving away. You're giving away the extra time that you spend coming to that answer. So at some point, you got to just stop and say, look, it's not about price. It's not about the fact if I can fix the car or not. It's about getting it done, getting it done efficiently, getting it done correctly. So you get on the phone with tech support, and we get the car done, and you get it out of the bay, and you get the next vehicle in. So it's definitely we're there with you guys. You're almost buying into a partnership with us. And I see Frank had asked the question again about the monthly subscription, and I apologize. I started getting into it. The first year is mandatory. After the first year, you can opt out of paying the monthly subscription. And like I said, it does stay a functioning scan until you do lose some of the capability as far as tech support and our legacy programming goes. Now, even if you are expired, we can still do these remote programmings for you because we do charge the $125 to do these programmings. Now, let's just say, for instance, you are 6 months expired, so you're not getting the software updates, you're not getting the tech support, and you decide you want to come back on, you need updates, you need help. So the way it'll work is the fee, basically the penalty, it doesn't matter how many months you're out, you don't back owe that money or anything like that. The fee to come back on would be the $299 to come back on, and then you pay the current month. So basically there's a $299 penalty, and that's it. So, you could be off for 8 months, so you're not, to come back on, you don't have to repay all that money back. So I just want to make that clear to everybody.
So let's see, how's our Asian, next question from Wade is, how's your Asian and domestic support? The answer is excellent. We get, as I mentioned, we get all of our technicians, they're all brand specific. So we get our Nissan technicians, we hire them directly from Nissan dealerships. And again, they all get their master certifications from whatever dealership we get them from, Toyota, Nissan, Hyundai, Kia. So we have very, very brand specific techs. Next question is about ADAS. We do not make our own targets. We're putting together a package of targets right now that we're sourcing from manufacturers. So in other words, we're getting targets. And by the way, we're not dealing with like the big board targets. We can do a whole class on this, but just for a quick piece on edification here, anytime you're doing the windshield camera stuff, the only time you need to do that is when the windshields get replaced, number one. And if you're working with a collision group, if a windshield gets broken during a collision, then there is a 95% chance that car is a total, by the way. So if a windshield gets broken within a collision, during a collision, there's a 95% chance that vehicle has been totaled, and you're not going to have to do an ADAS on it anyway. So anytime somebody's going out and spending $20,000+ for one of these ADAS kits, and again, I'm not trying to throw anybody, no disparity here, but in a lot of cases, unless you have a relationship with a windshield company or something, there's a lot of money that's being wasted right now. There's a lot of if you buy the smaller kits right now that are available from manufacturers, you can put an ADAS kit together to make money for about $3,000, and you'll have everything that you need. It fits in a small compact package. And by the way, you don't need a large surface area to work with some of these kits. We're putting some stuff together right now. Our tool does it. We use a lot of the factory software in order to perform the ADAS calibrations.
Yeah, and I saw somebody else had asked, Angel said, when I'm purchasing the DrivePro, do I have to purchase manufacturer separately? So the answer to that is no. We actually don't sell them separately anymore. As I said before, the only manufacturer that we do sell individually would be BMW. Other than that, it comes with full suite. So we don't do it like we used to with the Blue Box or the Assist. It's not, manufacturers are not purchased individually. You do just get the whole suite. And I know a couple of guys have already asked on here the price for a Drive ES. So the Drive ES, like I said, which will cover the Euro, Asian, and domestic, it is $6,000 to purchase, and then the monthly maintenance is $299 a month. And I already went over everything that the monthly maintenance covers.
And if you have two Blue Boxes, an Assist, and a Drive, they're all in one location. One package covers all of your technical support and all of your maintenance across all of your devices today. So another thing is, unless you've been contacted by some of our people on Blue Box, if you pay just on Blue Box for $199 a month, includes when we will load up all of your software, put in all of your European software on there, and for $199 a month, that covers all of your tech support on those devices. And I'll be honest with you, though, we'd like to see everybody upgrade to our Drive device, and I'll tell you why. We're trying to scale out our tech support. The best thing that we can do right now with our support is we want people contacting our support either through our app, so we don't have ringing phones in the office. And the reason we want to do that is because we've got a technology in the office, and the way our CRM works is all of these contacts come into the office, they populate on board, then we have our techs calling out, and that's the fastest way for us to get service back out to our customers. We used to have customers calling in, and then they'd be waiting on the phones on hold. That it no longer works that way. We want customers contacting us through the app or contacting us through the tools, through the device, through the DrivePro or through the Assist tool, and that's the fastest way for us to reach back out to you guys and provide the services or the support.
And not only that, we're constantly trying to keep a good SLA, right? Basically our callback time. This is what everyone who's on this webinar, I'm sure that's what you guys want as well, is you don't want to wait for a callback. So, like even to Kevin's point, this does speed up our tech support, even for the fact that we've been doing tech support for many years. And many of you who are existing customers for a very long time, you know that we've been in the tech support game for a very long time. Okay, one way that we speed up the tech support to make it quicker for all the end users, with the new tool, we've made it very interactive, all right? So now my technician, he could remote into the tool, he could hit the buttons, he could run through diagnostics. He could turn the camera on and physically see what you guys are working on in the bay. So he can actually see what you guys are working on. So that for us is tremendous on the tech support end of things, because it's always been a challenge, right? I mean, we have to ask these guys what is on the screen. We have to tell them to hit the button. So even something as simple as us being able to get in there and do this, it speeds up tech support, which at the end of the day helps all of our customers, because the quicker we can be on the phone or the quicker we can help a customer get along through the day, the quicker we can get to the next one. So it's definitely good for everyone to upgrade to give us that extra visibility into the shop. So,
yeah. By the way, I wanted to clear something up real quick. We have customers that were with us years ago. There was a process that we had where the tool, the blue box, needed to be hooked up to Autolink.
Yes.
And it needed to be hooked up to Autolink, and it needed to be validated in order to. It needed to. I think it was every 100, 200 times, whatever it was.
It was like 200 cycles.
Every 100 or 200 cycles, it needed to get hooked up to Autolink and see for a validation. There was a rumor going around that if you didn't do this validation, like again, you needed to, the tool was locked out, it wouldn't work. I have a feeling that there's probably hundreds of tools sitting around out there where customers have gotten that validation message and thought that unless they called us up and paid us a bunch of money, you know what I mean, to re-up their subscriptions, that the tool simply won't work. It is not true. If you call us up, we will give you, and there was an old regime at AutoLogic that I put that into place. If you have that blue box and it's lying around and it's not being used, if you simply get in touch with us, call the 800 number, which we'll provide you, 877-945-6442. Just give us a call. Again, 877-945-6442. Just give us a call. We'll help you out. We'll get your validation file so you can use those tools. You don't have to pay us any money. You don't have to do anything else. But we'll hook you up real quick, and you can use the tools with whatever the last version of software you had on the tool was. And there was just something that you have to do to it real quick. So again, I'm sorry if you've had the tool sitting around for a while. Okay, that being said, next piece, LSID. We have been working with NASTF, Donnie Seifer and his group for quite a while now. What we have the ability to do through association with NASTF is, if you have a vehicle and you need to program keys, we can program keys remotely. But what your shop needs to do is your shop needs to have an LSID. You need to go through the process. You need to fill out the paperwork. You need to go to NASTF, NASTF.org, and start the process. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. You don't wait. Don't wait till you need to get a key for a customer. Do it now. Last time I checked, I think there was only a couple of thousand shops in the country that have actually gone through this process. And being that there's 200,000 viable shops in the country, that's not good. So go to nastf.org, start the process, become LSID certified, and then your shop will have access to provide this for your customers. Anything that is determined to be theft related, you will be locked out of it. This way, once you get that certification, you'll be able to go to the dealership and buy theft related parts. Depending on the manufacturer, there's more and more parts that are winding up under the title theft related. Mercedes-Benz is this is especially true with a lot of the Europeans. So start the process. Now, once you have an LSID, you can call us up and we can utilize our factory subscriptions to help you code keys in your shop. One example would be if you had a customer who had a Land Rover that you needed to provide keys for, we'd be able to utilize our factory subscription in order to code keys for that vehicle. This is an added benefit to you and obviously to your customers because it's obviously something you can charge for. But again, something to keep in mind.
And that's not even just for keys, that's for component protective modules. I mean, you look at Volkswagen Audi with the steering racks and everything, all this stuff. I mean, Vince could even tell you, I mean, all this stuff is component protected. And, you know, look, guys, the reality of it is, as well, moving forward in the world that we're in today, you're going to need these LSIDs to even start purchasing more and more parts. I'm sure some of you guys are already feeling it with Mercedes-Benz, valve bodies, and things like that. But, you know, Vince will tell you it's going to be more and more. And not only that, I don't want us to tell you, no, we can't program something as simple as a steering rack because you guys aren't LSID certified, but right? I mean, it's going to...
Yeah, but remember on the Mercedes-Benz offering, it's not the license required to program the car, it's the license required to purchase the components. Now, there is quite a bit of stuff going on right now where the dealerships are not selling security components to customers off the street. And apparently the issue is that if a Mercedes-Benz dealership makes or has a mistake with an outside customer, it's as bad as them having a problem with an internal customer. So if you have a Mercedes-Benz dealer that's not selling you theft-related components, you need to speak to somebody about that because that's really not a very legal thing that they're doing. If you've got a vehicle security license, you need to be able to purchase those components. So that's that. Most of the other cars, Mercedes is really one who you need a license to purchase the parts, but the rest of them, you need to be it's called VSP now, which is Vehicle Security Professional. You need that to have the vehicle unlocked and programmed.
Yeah, and I see Alfonso is asking, can you program DOS4 keys for Mercedes-Benz? So the answer to that is no. DOS4, if I'm not mistaken, has to go to Mercedes-Benz because the key has to be plugged into the vehicle for them to be able to program it. Now, even their DOS3, they'll tell you the same thing, but that is not true. But I will tell you this, nobody programs keys for BMW or Mercedes. They are purchased from the dealership by VIN number. They come pre-programmed. Okay. So you might get, you know, as far as initializations go, like even with BMW keys and Mercedes keys, some of them do have to be initialized, basically coded into the vehicle. And yes, we can do that. But as far as programming a blank key that you guys purchase off of eBay or something like that, no, Mercedes-Benz and BMW, we do not do any programming for.
Next couple of questions. Does the tool have a warranty? The answer is yes. The tool comes with a 1-year warranty, but if you continue to do your maintenance and support on it, that stays in effect for as long as you have maintenance and support. So in other words, if you continue to pay your $299 and keep your technical support up, the tool stays under warranty.
Wow.
Okay. Let's see. Will you provide support with one of my other scan tools if I have a subscription? And the answer is yes.
Absolutely.
We support basically our technicians, being that we have factory technicians on here. If you are utilizing any factory scan tools in your shop, we will support you on those tools as well. If you use an Autels or Snap-ons or anything else, we support basically all of your tools. And as a matter of fact, we'll oftentimes tell you, hey, if you got this tool, pull it out. Let's use that tool. There are some tools, and again, this group called ETI, which is it's basically it's a clearinghouse for a lot of factory information. I'm the president of the group now, and we act, again, as I mentioned, we act as a clearinghouse for all the factory information. We parse it out to all the scan tool manufacturers. So we all kind of work together with all of the scan tool manufacturers, and we work closely. So I work closely with Snap-on and a number of these groups, and the whole idea is we all know each other's tools. We know them quite well, actually.
Yep. So. And I see Wade's asking, if you have a Ford subscription, can I use the integrated pass-through device to do my own programming? So the answer is no. The board that's internal in the DrivePro and the DrivePro ES is actually, it's locked down. And there's good reason for it. One, because our Autologic legacy software is on there, as well as some of our OE subscriptions. So you guys don't have access to the back end of the tool. Now, with that being said, one thing I do want to bring up, because I do get asked the question a lot, and particularly about the J25 that's internal, the J2534 that's internal, and them using it. So, like I said, the answer is no. You can't purchase your own subscription and do it that way. But like I said, you have an unlimited tech support through us. So, and like we've been telling you guys, we will support any tools out there. We will support factory software. Okay, so you have the tech support from us. So say you have a Ford subscription, our remote programming is $125, and I've heard from guys, but Honda's $10 for the day and Ford's $40 for the day. Why am I going to pay you guys $125? I'm going to give you a couple of reasons why. Number one, because it's time consuming for you guys, right? The way it works with us, when we're going to do remote programming for you, you plug the tool into the vehicle, you walk away, you go work on something else, you deal with your customers. We completely take the tool over and do the programming for you using our licenses, our subscriptions. And the cost is over to you for the $125, which just gets billed, and then you guys could allocate that cost over to your customers. Now, not only that, okay, a big part of it too is we're taking the liability. Now we're taking the responsibility. Okay, so that takes a lot of relief off the shop, right? I mean, a big part of people being scared of pass-through programming is because they hear of modules crashing or just going terribly wrong. Now, I will tell you guys, and I'm sure these guys will agree with me, 99.9% of the time when you hear of problems out there with pass-through programming, it is always voltage related. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
It is always voltage related, okay? So if you're using a proper maintainer and we're doing the programming and we brick a module or that module goes down, we take the liability, we replace the module for you. Obviously, if somebody kicks the OBD2 plug out while we're in the middle of programming, that's not on us, but we do take the responsibility. So even for the 125, you're covered if that module goes down. I mean, we're paying the money for the module, not the shop. I'm getting a little sidetracked, but to answer the question a little bit better, if you have your own Ford subscription, like I said before, you have unlimited tech support from us, and we do support everything, including factory tools. So with that being said, you can get on the phone, you can submit a ticket. My Ford tech will get on the phone with you guys. He will remote into your laptop using your card act, your external card act, and we will help you do this programming. We will assist you. So if you have guys in your shops that aren't that great at it, we will walk you through it. Now,
Dwayne's listening because you told that your techs don't have to be there, but now Dwayne wants to know how you work the key cycles.
That's the one thing we call you for is key cycles. So, yeah, so obviously we do need somebody physically there. So, but you do walk away and work with your customers, work on another job. We do call you if we need key cycles. Most of the time, they don't have to be done immediately unless we're going through a security function, and then we have to have you on the phone going through a sequence. But other than that, no. But back to what I was saying, if you do have your own Ford subscription, my Ford guy can remote into your laptop using your external, and he'll walk you through the programming. Like I said, he's going to walk you through it. So it's not something where you walk away from. So that's the difference. We'll help you to use your own subscription with your own equipment, but we're not taking the liability, and plus we're just assisting you at that point. We're not doing it for you. So I hope that answers that question.
So somebody's asking about the upgrade or updates on the assist. We do continue to update the assist, just like we're continuing to update the blue box. The limitations on both of those two devices now are the sizes of the files that we're presently putting into them. You know, we had run into, and this is not meant to be comical, but it is kind of funny. You know, I've been doing this, like I said, I've been with the company Autologic since 2005, and if anybody's been around for a while, I see Ronnie Beaner's on here, and Ronnie's a customer of ours. I know Ronnie for a long, long time. He's been, we had a tool, it was like the black box before the blue box, and this it looked like it was put together with an old Radio Shack kit. I mean, that's how long ago this was. Well, we had customers, you know, when we were just a Land Rover company back then, and then our next car line, we started building BMW tools, and, you know, then we had more and more car lines come in. You know, we had customers that had the same tool for 10, 12, 13 years. And then they started getting upset because the memory card inside the tool couldn't hold any more information. And we said, hey, you got to replace the tool. And they got upset with us. And they said, well, that's kind of BS that I have to replace this tool.
Yeah.
And we said, well, you've had the tool for 13 years. You know, God only knows how much money you've made with this tool. You know, did you think you'd never have to buy another tool? You know, but that, I mean, that's the reality. That, you know, as we mentioned, these vehicles are getting extremely intelligent. You know, especially in terms of the blue box, you know, these PCs, you know, a 2-year-old PC is absolutely archaic today. You know, imagine a 10-year-old PC, but that's kind of what we're dealing with. You know, as these things get older, and there's so much information, and the speed of the hardware and everything else, and these are all considerations that we have to take into account. You know, so that's what the limitation of the assist and the blue box is today. You know, we've had so many workarounds for the blue box, you know, as especially with BMW, you know what I mean, as the programming has changed so much, and we keep trying to get different things into it, you know, with optical heads and everything else. And, you know, it's been a real challenge trying to not change hardware so much, but, you know, we're gonna try to keep those two tools as viable as long as possible. But, you know, they are nearing their end, and that's the best I can tell you at this point.
Yeah, and even with the drive, I mean, we've built it with keeping in mind future applications. So we built it to be able to handle future application. You know, the blue box being designed and built so many years ago, I mean, nobody predicted what could have really been going on in the automotive industry. And just a quick example, I mean, you look at BMW programming files where they used to be megabytes in size, where now a head unit file is 5 gig. You know, so that just gives you an idea of the difference in the size of the files and why some of these older tools just can't handle it, just because there's just a tremendous amount of information in these new cars with all the systems that you know, it's changed quite a bit.
Right. I see Roger's asking a question. I'm encountering issues with my blue box where I cannot do many services procedures required for BMW Mini as far back as 2014. That's kind of what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, BMW has rewritten their CIP several times in the way that they do it. So we've tried. I wish I had Brian Chaff on here with me, you know, because I was over in the UK recently. Not that recently, obviously. Thank God I didn't get stuck over there when this whole thing happened. But last time I was over there, probably about a month and a half ago now, we talked about, because we're rewriting CIP probably for the 4th time now in the last 5 months, and because BMW is making constant changes in the way that they're doing things, we're desperately trying to keep pace with that. It's not much of an issue because of the way we're doing things on the drive, but the way we're doing things on the blue box. So, you know, Roger, if you want to give us a call, let us send you one of the drives, and we'll let you play with it for a month or two. You know what I mean, and see if the programming on the BMW doesn't improve. We're more than happy to let you try it for a couple of months and see if it doesn't improve for you. Okay, so
actually, Ronnie was asking too about the DOS3 and the DOS4 keys again. So
right.
DOS3, like I was saying before, they come pre-programmed from the dealer. The DOS4, if I'm correct, the reason why those cars have to go to the dealership is because the keys are programmed there. You don't get them pre-programmed, so they actually have to plug it into the ignition of the vehicle to program it. That's correct, right? Yeah, they have to physically plug it into the vehicle to program it.
Alfonso's asking more questions about his Zentra tool. I know Alfonso very well, right? So I think the one thing good about our stuff is as you continue to stick with our support at this point, if we get updates, you get updates. So, and we're using a Windows-based tablet. We're not using a, like some of the other scan tools out there are using an Android-based tablet, right? Which is why we're able to really add deeper programming into our stuff. And
well, again, the reason why tool companies use Android is because it boots fast and it's extremely cheap. I mean, that's why tool companies use it. Now, when you see a tool company using an Android platform and they're doing any kind of programming, they're doing something silly because, like for instance, if you're doing Pass-Thru J2534, that's only written to Windows, only written in a Microsoft standard. So they have to be doing they got to be doing something funny. So that's one point I'd like to make. I see Alfonso was also asking about again, how long do we try to keep our tools viable? He's referring to it as shelf life. Zentra, he says, has been around for about 6 years. We had the Star tool before that had significantly less life. I know because we paid. We had a couple of them here in the support center. We paid about $23,000 for each one of them, and we certainly didn't get 6 years out of them. A lot of the OE manufacturers, and again, I know I'm preaching to the choir here when I say this to the guys, especially any of you guys. I know most general repair shops have 1 or 2 factory tools. You usually pick your biggest lines, and you say, okay, I'm going to buy this factory tool because I do the most of these. As I mentioned, my brother and I have we have a Bosch service center, and we have we do a pretty good business, and we've bought a ton of factory tools over the years. Some have been around for a long time. Others we've been extremely disappointed on. I mean, I remember one, and I'm not calling out Chrysler here, but I mean one really comes to mind is we bought a Star Mobile tool, and I'm going back here probably, I don't know, probably 2006 or 2007 or so. We bought a Star Mobile tool, paid a lot of money for it, and Chrysler discontinued it, stopped updating it within 6 months of them releasing the tool. Literally, it came out, brand new tool, and within 6 months, they said, we're done with that, and they got rid of it. And that's after I think we paid about $6,000 or $7,000 or $8,000 for this tool, which is pretty crazy, but that's an absolutely true story. Autologic, we have been very, very conscious of the investment that technicians make on our tools. Okay, there was something I refer to as the dark period, a brief period where I left the company, where we stopped the programming, and a lot of you guys that have been around for a while know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go into details. You all know what I'm talking about. Where customers felt they didn't get the value out of their tools that they would. And I'm fully, I will admit fully to that period. But again, anything I can do for anybody watching to help you out, as I've said a million times before, we'd love to see everybody convert over to the Drive. We think the CS tool is a real winner. It's a very, very flexible platform. It's access. The fact that it's got so many of the factory softwares running in the background that our technicians have access to, and they can be running and moving your technicians along, and it's a real sweet platform. So Mike and Vince, they can kind of take you for a tour of this thing anytime you want. If you guys have been Autologic or IBS customers for a while, don't hesitate to give us a call. We'll let you play with this stuff, or again, any issues you're having. I see somebody was asking a question. I think they just I didn't catch the gentleman's name, but I think he said he just upgraded updated his Farsight, his blue box, and we'll be in touch with you. But we'll be happy to help you out, do something for you. But what I mean, again.
Usually if you just pay the support, depending on how you're paying for it, if you're paying for a monthly, it just stays on that monthly. If you paid for the year up front, the way it'll work, I'll make it real easy using easy numbers. Say you just paid $2,999 to update all of your tools. Basically, what'll happen is we credit you out that money in support. So If you just paid us $2,999, basically you get 10 months without having to pay support, and then it will kick in from there. So you don't lose out on that money you just paid for renewal. If you do pay it all in one shot, you get credited out in months of support. But if you're just on the monthly, then it just stays on the monthly. If you're paying the $199 because you're on a blue box and assist, it'll go up to the $299.
Yep.
That's good.
That's good to get that.
Yeah.
So I need to clarify something.
So it's, somebody's asking a question. I need to clarify something. Did you just say as long as we're paying for tech support, our tools are covered under warranty? That's up to 5 years.
Yeah, John, that does not include the blue box and the assist tools.
It did for 5 years, because again, the problem with those two tools is very simple. Like all computers, we can't get parts for those blue boxes, like screens, touch screens. Trust me, if I could, I would. If I could get parts and continue to service those tools, because there's so many of them out there. I mean, those blue boxes, I mean, guys are still swearing by them, and some guys will just not give them up. Guys, trust me when I tell you this. If I could still get parts for those blue boxes and continue to service them, because there's some diehard people out there that no matter what refuse to give them up. And I'll tell you this, I am truly proud of that. The fact that, because again, like I feel like we almost gave birth to that tool. The guys that were with me in the beginning of this. If we could get parts for those things and continue to service them, I certainly would. But we can't. You know, the assist and the blue box. We can't get the touch screens for them. We can't get the VIM boards for them anymore. There's just certain things we can't get for them. We even had a point here where we were harvesting them. It was like some kind of, it looked like invasion of the body snatchers here. We had these things torn apart here. We were harvesting parts out of old ones. We were cutting deals with customers to get the old new chassis back and taking pieces out of them, doing everything we could to keep a lot of those blue boxes out there. But again, so Joseph, if there's something we can do to help you out, if you got some special need, don't hesitate to give us a call. So. Okay. Real quick, guys, a couple of words, and I just want to say, so because I think this is kind of neat, actually. Our mother company, Opus. One of the things that's going on with our company right now, which I think is kind of worth mentioning and kind of neat, is most of the state inspections that you guys have. If you guys have an emissions inspection or a safety inspection in your state, it's probably Opus that's delivering it, or one of Opus's companies. So we do all the inspections. A number of if we're doing a lot of our centralized testing has been swapped over right now. So we're doing a lot of the COVID-19 testing through our inspection lanes right now, which I thought is kind of neat. If we were having this webinar next month rather, I hope not to be reporting that. So I hope we're gonna get through this thing and everybody get back to business real soon. But we're proud to be helping out in that manner. But at the same time, we hope not to be helping out in that manner in another month or so. I hope we're all back to business. Another thing I wanted to say was I think we're all going to get very, very busy, all of us shop owners and technicians, because we've all been pushing off work. Some of us are luckier than others. Some of us will say that we're all an essential business. Some of us are going to say, my business is down 70%, my business is down 80%. Some of us, say it's only down 50 or 60%. But regardless, all I can say is that, in another 6 weeks or so, or 4 weeks, we're all going to be extremely busy. So I think we can all look forward to that. But we're excited, looking forward, and I think it's going to be a great time. So I think our time is up right now. So I wanted to thank Mike, and I wanted to thank Vince. If there's anything else we can do, Gina will put up and make sure all of our email addresses and everything are up. So if you need to contact us for anything, but there are some special offers on the tools and the support. But especially, which is true now and has always been true, any of our customers have been with us forever. You guys have been extremely loyal. Wanted to thank our partners at WorldPack, CarQuest, and everything else. These guys have been with us forever. They've always helped us out. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. So everybody have a great weekend. Thanks again.
Take care, guys.